Hey everyone, welcome to the Leader Transition Institute's kickoff for their new program called Pathway to Success, Navigating the Transition from Military to Civilian Life. My name is Jose Velasquez, and I serve on LTI's board as its Director of Communications. But before I served on the board, I was a student in their Changing Focus, Moving from We to Me program. It changed my life in ways no other transition program could. Now, before I begin, if you're here because of me or one of my posts, I just want to say thank you. And let's have some fun. Go ahead and put wherever you're listening to us from in the comments. Please do so. By the way, my name's Jose, and I live just west of Richmond. So if you're on 95 anytime soon, hit me up. Let me know, okay? I'll bring you over for lunch. All right. Hey, listen, just a note, if you have any questions throughout the event, please do me a favor. Leave them in the comments. And if we don't answer them live, we'll go back and answer them, every single one of them, after the show. So in today's short live stream, we're going to discuss LTI's new initiative and how it'll help take the transition experience to a whole new level. Now, without further ado, let me introduce veteran and the founder and CEO of LTI, Annie Brock. Annie, welcome to the show.
Thank you, everybody. I was just putting in the chat, Jose, to Facebook that there is a problem with the live stream on Facebook, so we're going to post the video there later. So thank you, everyone, for being here with us today. And thank you to those of you who are going to be watching this video later. We launched Changing Focus, Moving from We to Me 5 years ago because we suspected, based on personal experience and observations of service members, veterans, and spouses, that it was needed. And today, after having worked with over 40 cohorts, over 360 people, we are convinced of it. Our participants have been in 37 states and the District of Columbia, in 7 countries on 4 continents. And so we'd love to know where you're watching from. Whether you're live or watching the video, would you please put your location into the chat or comments? Thank you so much. Now, during every individual's time in the military, regardless of their rank or length of service, they are immersed in an environment that changes their mindset, from one of a civilian to that of a military service member. The indoctrination isn't a one-week process. It's not even a month or a year. It is continuous during each individual's service because a military mindset is required to successfully serve in the armed forces. The challenge that presents itself when a service member prepares to leave the military and move into the civilian world is that they're trying to process what they're experiencing through their military mindset. And this disconnect causes them to have high levels of uncertainty, which they experience as anxiety. And that is a very real and damaging result of the expected vast mismatch between where they are and what they know. Now, these feelings of anxiety and fear often cause service members, regardless of their rank, to lose focus and clarity about their potential. Some end up selling themselves short as they move into the civilian sector. Some adopt defense mechanisms that work on some level, and others find themselves spinning their wheels, spiraling downward, unsure of their next step, stuck and unable to move forward. We've found that when service members participate in a cohort of Changing Focus, Moving from We to Me, where they're guided through a purposefully designed set of thought and writing exercises and group discussions, that their anxiety is relieved and they are better positioned to move into the civilian sector. And when I hear from people about the positive difference we've made for them, it fills my heart. Today, I'm honored that 3 of our alums want to share their thoughts about changing focus with you. Bruni Garcia retired from the Army in 2020. She was in cohort 8. And now Bruni serves as LTI's Vice President for Development and as a key member of our training and coaching team.
So I guess it's my turn now, Annie.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Well, thank you, and thank you for the introduction, and thank you. It is so great to be here today, and I want to talk to you about what purpose is. Purpose is not what we do, but who we are. Purpose is who you are designed to be. It's what you have been designed and created for, and it's in your DNA. It is why you are here on this planet. Purpose is what you are made for versus what you like or want. It's in you. And I didn't realize that I had a purpose in life. Being in the military, I had a purpose provided to me for 30 years. But this purpose, after transitioning from the military to the civilian sector, wasn't my purpose anymore. I needed a purpose that aligned with whom I am. And this program, Changing Focus, Moving from We to Me, helped me understand what purpose is and what purpose is not. I was able to create my own purpose, and I found that sweet spot I was missing after the military. And I discovered what I was really designed to be. Now I use my purpose to help others find dedication and motivation to never give up despite the challenges and to seek opportunities that will help them achieve their goals. So thank you for allowing me an opportunity to share to you about what purpose is. Thank you, Annie.
Thank you, Bruni. There's somebody cutting onions someplace in my office. Thank you for that. Next, we're going to hear from Matthew Lee. He was in cohort 21, and he retired from the Marine Corps in 2021. Unfortunately, Matthew ended up with a work conflict, so he's not here with us live. I'm so grateful that he took the time to record a video to share with you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Matthew Philip Wee. As somebody who struggled with the transition process because of not wanting to admit that my time was up in the Marine Corps, finding that purpose of who I am after 20 years of active duty service was equally complicated, during the 2020 and 2021. Still, it increased my determination to learn and connect with outside organizations to better prepare myself outside the Marine Corps. This determination to find a solution was that I received my transitional classes online through the WebEx platform. These helpful classes only made me want to learn more to better understand what I am going through. All these organizations gave me the knowledge, foresight, and courage to continue pursuing that solution to better myself. Leader Transition Institute's From We to Me's deep dive into DISC delved into my strengths and weaknesses, making me understand my fear of criticism and the need for perfection. Learning communication methods from Outward Mindset and the Maxwell Speaker Club made me practice those styles and preferences slowly but surely. We must constantly remind ourselves that knowing our communication preferences helps us transition. Your style brings out your best and makes you focus on what is necessary to succeed. This particular quote I will end with from my We to Me cohort 2 years ago is a complex concept that takes time to understand. The biggest communication problem is we do not listen to understand, we listen to reply. Thank you.
That's awesome.
That was
I know
awesome.
Matthew will see this later, so thank you, Matthew, for doing that video. Leah Kilpatrick was a member of cohort 34. She retired from the Army last year. And if you've ever read any military journalism, you may have read some of Leah's work. She's known for her authentic writing, which is exactly who she is as an individual.
Hi, Leah.
You ready? Hi.
We're ready. Let's go.
Yes, we're
Sorry, I was having some connectivity issues. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's okay.
The last time I really thought about myself, and can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. The last time I really thought about myself and what I wanted was when I was basically a kid in my teens, early 20s, or as I like to call it, my selfish phase. After 20 years in the Army, overlapping with 12 years as a mom, and 9 of those as a single mom, everyone else came first. My kids came first. My soldiers came first. The mission came first. It wasn't until I was on the cusp of transition out of the military that I was faced with the question, what do I want to do? For 20 years at least, it hadn't mattered what I wanted. Nobody asked, nobody cared. It was about getting the job done, whatever that job was. So there I was going through the Soldier for Life Transition Assistance Program and trying to figure out what path I wanted to take. And I realized, I don't know how to do this. I need a block of instruction. So enter changing focus, moving from we to me. The program was exactly what I needed. At that, as if all the possibilities of what I could do with my next chapter were just sort of floating in the atmosphere, and I was in danger of just reaching up and grabbing a thing and saying, sure, I can do that. Never asking if I want to do that, if that was going to give me a sense of joy or fulfillment, or if that was even my purpose. The methodical approach of changing focus forced me to examine my own character traits, strengths, and values, to develop my purpose statement and my vision statement, and most importantly, and most impactful for me, to confront the lies I have been told or that I have told myself that keep me from achieving my dreams. It was a very emotional moment for me to address the lies, unpack the lies, and then replace the lies with truth. It's still a thing that I return to my notebook to reinforce when I feel myself slipping into old habits. For some reason, old habits are comfortable even when they're uncomfortable, if that makes any sense. The impact that changing focus has had on me is that it's given me permission to play the main character in my own life, to unapologetically seek out what I want for this new chapter. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for the greater good and stuff, but my eyes have been opened to the fact that I can live my life on my own terms, and what I want matters. I hope this epiphany rubs off on my children so they never have to unlearn those toxic self-talk habits, and so that they can feel empowered to seek their happiness and their own purpose. I hope it rubs off on everyone I have the pleasure to interact with. It comes with a feeling of personal peace and fulfillment to know you're on the path that you wanted for yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah.
So much, Leah. Thank you. So at some point in our time together, Jose will put the link to the white paper in the chat. And when you read that, you can learn all of the technical details about what happens to a person's mind when they join the military. I thought a visual demonstration of that would be helpful. So that's what we're going to show you. Here you see 5 18-ounce glasses sitting on a shelf in my kitchen sink. Each represents a person's life up to 90 years old. The glass without a number represents a 20-year-old who doesn't join the military. The glass marked 5 represents a service member who joined at age 20 and has spent 5 years in the military. The one marked 10 represents a service member who again joined at 20 and has spent 10 years in the military. And similarly, the glasses marked 20 and 30 represent service members who joined at age 20 and have spent 20 and 30 years respectively in the military. When an individual joins the military, they come with a civilian mindset. Even if they were a military child, their mind hasn't been through the conditioning that creates a military mindset. During basic and technical training, or in the Reserve Officer Training Corps, ROTC, or by attending one of the service academies, a person's unconscious mind begins to be layered with a military mindset, which we're going to use food coloring to represent. The longer a person stays in the military, the deeper their military mindset becomes. It's not at all surprising, and it's what's required and needed for an individual to serve successfully in any branch of our armed forces. And you'll see in the video, it's not completely obvious, but the color in the glasses marked 5 and 10 doesn't end up being as dark as in the glasses marked 20 and 30. You're going to see me fill the glasses up to the top using clear water, which represents the individuals going back into the civilian sector to live and work for the rest of their 90 years of life. Data shows that military retirees on average tend to live long lives because of their access to good health care. There's probably a chemical I could have put into each of the glasses to eliminate the color, but we can't do that with a person's mind. The military mindset that each service member acquires during their time in the military, it goes with them when they move back into the civilian sector. and it can't be completely undone. Not right away. You can't do it just in a snap. And you'll note as I pour the water in that the color doesn't lighten up tremendously for someone who has spent 10 or more years in the military. And even for an individual who spent only 5 years in the military, the color doesn't completely disappear. Now, as I said in the beginning, each of these glasses holds 18 ounces. I took time and poured over 2 quarts of water additional into each of the glasses. And in none of them did the color ever completely disappear. And so it is for anyone who has spent any amount of time in the military. Once they leave the military mindset doesn't ever completely disappear. It's our belief at the Leader Transition Institute that the biggest challenge for anyone leaving the military is not finding a job, even though that can be challenging for some people. The biggest challenge for service members leaving the military is the difference between the mindset they're operating with, a military mindset, and the environment they're living in, the civilian sector. When service members leave the military, they're not provided a sustained period of time during which their military mindset can begin changing to the kind of mindset they need to live in the civilian sector. They go back into the civilian sector with their military mindset, feeling like they don't belong, working to manage their anxiety and fear so that they can be successful. Now, Bruni, Matthew, and Leah are representative of the 96% of Changing Focus participants who say we gave them a tool, plan, or knowledge they hadn't gotten anywhere else. And this was after they had participated in DoD TAP and other transition programs. So what are we doing differently from everyone else? Well, DoD TAP is designed to solve DoD's problem, the amount of money they reimburse each year to the states for unemployment compensation. So it focuses on helping service members get employment and access their VA benefits. And it's our perspective that the majority of veteran service organization programs that help transitioning veterans and service members are focused on that too. We did something different. We looked at what service members are getting and decided to provide what they needed. At the end of each cohort, we asked what the most important part of the time was that they just spent with us. And the top 3 responses are consistent. Number 1, the full day we spend talking about individual purpose and vision. Number 2, the morning we spend talking about living an intentional life. And number 3, the afternoon we spend talking about how people perceive communication and behavior and how to recognize the cues in other people's behavior and communication. I know we're changing lives, and it's not just the service member and veterans. It's their spouses, it's their children, and it's the teams on which they work. So I have 2 asks of you today. Number 1, please recommend to everyone you know who is transitioning from the military, regardless of where in the process they are, or even if they're already out, that they participate in a cohort of Changing Focus Moving from We to Me. It's free, it's virtual, it's hands-on and interactive. We send you everything you need. And number 2, please share this video with your network. We are making a ripple, but we want to make a wave. And you can help us make that wave via email or social media, however works best for you. And we're happy to talk with your leadership or your organization in person or virtually. Thank you.
Annie, thank you so much for the information. I'm so excited for where you're taking the program. It is absolutely amazing, and we're ready for new members with open arms. So we want to help, but we can only do so if you'll help us. I'm putting the link in the Pathway to Success paper right there at the bottom. You can see it. Please go to our page and take a look at it. It's fact-based, evidence-based research providing how LTI fills the needs of our service members better than many other programs out there. Please feel free to go check it out. Thanks again for participating, and I hope to have some terrific follow-on conversations with many of you. Remember, we'll be going back to the comment section to answer your questions, so please, we'll tag you in the responses. If you have any other questions, just let us know. It's been a true honor. Thank you for your time. We know it's valuable, and we'll leave you with our video because it was cool and we worked really hard on it. And have a great afternoon, everybody.